Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Republic of Amalfi series here on the Lord Mass channel. This long-running series that we've just gone over 50 episodes now. And I still got a couple of episodes left in me. But, of course, I intend to keep this series going until we finally start a new one. As you know what we're talking about. So, I've said enough about that. I mean, the less said the better. Anyways, in the previous episode, we only have expanded very slightly, but not in anywhere that is related to Italian lands, but rather outside it. One across the sea is Ragusa, which is currently going through a disease right now. That's because there was an outbreak of the Fratelli heresy, or Little Brethren, which is a Catholic heresy that originated in the Franciscan order of monks. It is devoted to poverty and asceticism, especially for men on the cloth. Fratelli heretics are violently opposed to church wealth and displays of opulence. It's a heresy, so they had to be dealt with because there was a religious uprising there in Ragusa, and they were able to defeat the Serbs of Zeta, also known as Dukla. Oh, wait a minute. That's why the name changed. I mean, if it was controlled by Serbian, it would be called Dukla. But obviously, this man is Franconian, German, so to speak, and so that's why it's been renamed Zeta. Agnatic. That explains it. His dynasty died unable to carry his own massive frame. Gee. You know, I am fat. What could that happen to me? You think I might end up like Miroslav the Giant, who was a fat giant? And he was lazy too. 54. Oh dear. I think I should, just for reading that history of that man, now I'm thinking about my own mortality soon. Crud. But then again, you say he died because one's able to carry the massive frame. I think he had gigantism. So, some people do, some people don't. But as long as you just be fat but don't eat too much. I mean, at least I don't have the gluttonous trait. No, I am just large and in charge. That's why they call me the wise. And I am charitable. Although I'm a bit envious, but still. Ragusa wasn't the only place that was expanded. We've also expanded into Alexandria. And the reason for that is that great lighthouse of Alexandria. We know it was built way before, timeline of this playthrough. And we know this was built during the days of the Ptolemaic Kingdom. I think so. I mean, I'm no expert. It's been a while since I've read anything that is Hellenic history. We're building spikes around it, just in case you didn't know, so we can execute prisoners with it. If we ever have a cruel Doge who just wants to kill for the sake of killing, he might just do that. It's also a great place to have a private conversation. While I'm trying to get along with this God blasted, hateful man. Wrong government type wants a seat in the council. I would give you a seat, and plus you're a known murderer, so I gotta arrest you. Who did you murder? That's the question. Murdered your own wife. What is the matter with you? what is he doing now? So obviously the Sicilians are actually going to take over to this area pretty soon. There's a zombie over there. I'm sorry, we gotta stop this man. At least it'll be a defensive war. You need to go to jail. Now. Well, I spent out all day drilling the troops while she has achieved some success. The troops are not particularly impressed. Well, she was trying her best. This Sicilian needs to go to jail. Because of two reasons. One, you hate my guts. And two, you killed your wife, you son of a beeswax. Anyways. Locals from Asera reported the most unusual and concerning incidents. Several sources claim to have seen otherworldly shadows, vaguely in the shape of people going around attempting to kill unsuspecting innocents. Common thread is that the shadows tend to appear at night as people fall asleep. Reputable scholars and clergy believe it's nothing but hysteria. Well, they are right. Sleep terrors are nothing new. Yeah. Crusade, you say? Where are we going? Oh, Egypt. Well, I should consider preparing my men. Keep in mind, it's the son of my nephew, who I named him heir, because he has the best skills out of everyone here. I'm glad he's in the corps with us. For once, go for pride. Since you have no marshal, so therefore, hopefully you'll get a little bit of that towards it. Ah, that would be. No, no need for education. For the love of what? Oh, Sovereigneus and Necratus is one of the smartest children I've ever seen. He's so quick that he learns things on his own. Is he now? I was about to say he serves under me. Oh, you're from over here. Well, where are you? There you go. Ransom, you dummy. Oh, he's got negative money. Never mind. Just release him. Just a show of goodwill. It's only going to be for this year. Military essays or philosophy classics. Or just be a focus tour for once. You're not going to be in any major war soon, so pick the philosophy classics. Don't worry about that. We gotta arrest this man. I don't care if you're trying to expand into Albania. You did what you did. Oh wow, what luck. And just for that, you'll be nope. They don't like that. Well then you just stay there and rot. You maggot. Oh yeah, by the way, since they're concerning about the Crusade for Egypt, well here's another thing that's concerning. Look to the east. The Mongol Empire. Led by Kagan Chanai. The ever-expansive Mongol Empire is currently at war to subjugate the Al-Zaidi. Oh my goodness. You know what that means? That means they're going to be subjugating all of this territory as you see outlined. And that even includes Egypt, and that would put us in a border with them. Since we just took Alexandria. And we do have a small presence of Bakr in one of its cities, and in Sirte as well. It horrifies me to be thinking about, the Mongols, even though we have no contact, but we'll come contact with them soon. And due to the changes of it, will the Pope consider retaking Egypt? But they'll be fighting against Mongols as well, which would have to take a lot of effort from all of us Catholics throughout Europe to stand up against this ever-growing threat that everybody's afraid of. Recently, however, pistachios from Acera become very popular in the region. It must be something related to the taste or texture. Exports will likely continue to grow in the coming years. Good to hear. Spending the money on military increase this time. Well, meanwhile, try to get rid of that adoptionist heresy. Because look at our moral authority. It is so damn low. Taking back Egypt would be the first step to get the Catholics back up to the province. Point out the wealth that it brings. How dare you tell me that? We can hope that the next Count of Sicily will be more cooperative. Oh, finally! Together with the intelligence services of my Rome, was able to discover that Patrician Gaurino of Della Rocca was the mastermind behind the recent drop of stability in It's the Republic of Genoa. Of course, these bastards. Those no good sons of beeswaxes. Use intrigue and deception as punishment. Speaking of that, start fabricating the claims. Well, they're not exactly. Recruit an honor guard. Oh, it has a Lighthouse Alexandria retinue. Especially in the guards are stationed upon tightening security around the Lighthouse Alexandria. Particularly useful if you're like when we're sending armies this way and then we land in Alexandria, especially in this upcoming crusade, that we get some fresh troops, though a small number, and we'll be fighting against Mongols and all that eventually, if it comes down to it. I do recall way back in 2019. 2019? Yes, mid 2019. There was this Crusader Kings 2 series I did long ago, and it was one of the more notable Crusader Kings 2 series, possibly out of all the series that I've done. It seems like we know Bosnia is the most notable, but Assyria comes in second because of the amount of views it's gotten. I do remember having a gardens wonder, magnificent garden wonder, and I put it in Baghdad, symbolically, because hanging gardens of Babylon. And during that Assyrian playthrough, we even had a garden retinue. And there was this time where, from, say, Baghdad here, which is also the home of the House of Wisdom. Whereas back in my playthrough of Assyria, in Mosul, or Nineveh, one of these two areas here, I built the Great Library, which is supposed to be a recreation of the Royal Library of Nineveh. And in that garden retinue, when we sent out our very first Assyrian expeditionary force to assist Bulgaria, I believe, or was it Galician-Vonia? I think it may have been Galician-Vonia, onto an expeditionary war to fight against those Slavic tribes and nomads up there. In fact, it is around this area of Turov, Pinsk, Slutsk, yeah, around those areas, especially in the Pinsk area, where its marsh terrain was just basically just, oh my goodness, it's bringing me back memories of how chaotic it was, where we only sent our retinue and the garden retinue to assist them, and then it got ugly and it escalated, and we had to bring out the levies from the Assyrian Empire and ship them up there. And yeah, that was like, it was something. Brought me back some memories. And yes, we were a Nestorian Christian empire as Assyria, because the Assyrians were mainly Nestorian. The first and only time that I would ever do a Nestorian playthrough. And also, it was the very first and only time that it was a playthrough that involved Shattered Realm. Yeah, it was a fun series, to be honest. But anyways, back to the show. Back to the series, I should say. Oh my goodness. You're way over there and the Mongols are gonna get it. That means they will win. And they are about to win it. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Things are going to change drastically. Watch. Keep your eyes on the map. Holy shit. Oh, I just... Destruction of the House of Wisdom. This last attack on Baghdad felled the great city. This great institution has been sacked and its books destroyed. It is said that the river now runs black with ink. Oh, the humanity. Now you are no longer Arabian Empire. Now that title belongs to him. Now this is a defeat that shocked the world. And yes, Mecca is under the control of the Mongols. Well, this is left undisturbed, but now it's inactive because it's ran by Tengrists. And if they were to convert to Islam, we're screwed. At least for the time being. That's it. We gotta band together. I'm joining the Defensive Pact. And because of this ever-escalating situation, now that we have contact with the Mongol Empire, I would urge you, I mean, we're both charitable, and I'm glad that you like my skull cup, as you are a cruel man, and as the owner of the skull cup, easy for me to say, that means the cruel people like him are like, oh, how interesting. Not to mention my high amount of prestige. So, mind if we have a non-aggression pact between us? I mean, can I send you a gift? I'm sure you don't make a lot of... Yeah! It's like a big gift. So, whatever you do, for the love of God, do not attack me. And plus, you can make You make 1,000 ducats every 10 months. No, more than 10. Less than 10 months. You'll be fine. Send him the gift. Just say that we are paying tribute to you, not as a tributary, you know. And not because of this. Well, now they joined in that holy war that he's inherited. And again, whomever attacks them, any part of it. Although, though, at least it's a far cry from taking over Jerusalem, as it's still under the control of Orthodox Christians. Perhaps one would think that this would be a... No, it's not a blow to Sunni Islam. Is he also by... Where's the Caliphate? Hang on here. Let's go way back. Or is it the Caliphate title, a duchy title? He got a lot of titles. Is there no Caliphate now? In fact, the real question is... The owner of Medina would have to go back to those days, right? No. Go check Baghdad. No. Samara. That used to be the original residence. I'm just curious. There it is. It doesn't exist. Oh. The Sunni Caliphate title is gone. Because ever since the fall of Zayd, so that means without the Caliph, they cannot call a jihad. So it's impossible at this point for them, because they don't have certain holy sites in order to claim itself. Again, read that again. One of these must be true. You need a lot of piety. You be Sunni. Controls Mecca and Medina. Jerusalem, Damascus, and Baghdad. So it's impossible at this point. Well, how about a business deal? This is a coward's way out. I'm calling for a non-aggression pact with Mongol Empire, so that way they do not attack the wealthy Republic of Amalfi. Because I don't want this area to become a launching point to invade Italy or even Greece. Or any part of Europe, for that matter. And you know what? Just for that, we're sending it to Alexandria, just to keep an eye on it. Knowing that we're going to have a crusade coming up. And fortunately, him being a Tengrist, that means on the other side they're not going to put much effort. So I may consider joining. So, a lot of us is going to be joining the Defensive Pact. I joined the Defensive Pact. Anyways, the soup kitchen of Amalfi burnt down quite recently in an accident. Without it, many of the poor might starve. I just thought of something. When the non-aggression pact between the Republic of Amalfi and the Mongol Empire is signed, if this the negotiations are successful, I will leave the Defensive Pact and just pursue my own interests without any worry. And also having to decide whether or not I should join a crusade. Yeah, and I shall receive both money and food. Here we go again. I was browsing some wares at the market when I saw a foreign adventurer walking by. One of my guards sneered at him and told the man in his husky, coarse voice, "We're watching you, scum." I don't think that sounds like him being envious. He would be like, "That's right, scum. You foreigners are no good." One would think it's Mongols, but I'll just say, hey, that's no way to treat anybody. I'm a socializer here. House of Wisdom Reborn. Well, technically, it's still under the control of the Sultan. So after the unanimous fall at the hands of the invaders, the great king has taken control of the region. Slowly but surely, the scrolls are arriving together with men to study them. Despite all that pillaging that just happened there, and Mongol says, "Hey, you Muslims, you're still governing that region." Because those Tengris are pluralistic people. They do tolerate people of all faiths within. Also, am I seeing what I'm seeing? I just saw some way over there. A Taoist. A master engineer. Guess the princess gave him the lamb. So yes, the House of Wisdoms Reborn with its new headmaster. Like a phoenix rising from Arizona. Or from the ashes. And then they destroyed it again on the same day. Yeah, this is going to be happening a lot. But I await for the... From now on, you will be stationed there until further notice. They're in Karbala now. So they won this round of the Holy War. But we're still awaiting for their word for the non-aggression pact to be signed between us. And once it's signed, I will take my leave from the Defensive Pact, because I did it because I reacted to it, but now he's riding into the dungeon. I doubt I could do much to prove his opinion of me now. Nah, no point to keep trying. I'm done with that man. Alright, a successful meeting. After sitting down with the delegation led by the Kowtows of the Mongol Empire, it was with relief that I found plenty of common ground with the other side. We're both eager to sign a non-aggression pact. It's security above everything else. Keep that well in mind. But at least you caught him on a peaceful period. So in that case, I will leave the Defensive Pact. Now that we have non-aggression pact, so he cannot invade any part that belongs to the Republic. And only that. So salute and best wishes. And maybe one day we'll talk of alliance. It could benefit us in the long run. If we catch you in a time of peace, that is. Because I hate to be that guy that would be assisting you. One would think I'm just a sellout, an opportunist and all that. But look at you. You're an adulterer. And you're a hunter too. But he's a leader who cares, cheery, and has an imperial trade contract. Cha-ching, I know what to do. I'm gonna be that guy. A guy who just kowtowed to the Mongol Empire. And speak of... Oh, I don't know about that. I want to be the first man who has just... is going to the journey to the inner lands of the Yuan Empire and bow before the Emperor in act of servitude. Perform the kowtow will earn me grace of the Yuan Empire. It'll cost me prestige to do so. Those people in the Christian world are just gonna call me a sellout. But for me, it's just business, right? It would be wise to try to get a peace deal from them, as they have a Mongol Empire, because they're related. Because, you know, one of its brothers. So, for the first time in the Republic of Amalfi series, I am going to China. A journey to the visit of the Emperor of the Yuan Empire, and show my subservience will take months, if not even years. I take my farewells to my near and dear and prepare the caravan for departure. Anything else? Such as, would you like to have a designated region? Now, before I go, we gotta get a designated region. You. Only because we just want to have a high domain size. We don't want to have any more severe penalties. For once, fisheries of the Amalfi coast. This is just to up the morale of armies and the levy reinforcement rate. So, let's get going. As I said before, Doge Adila the Wise. He is wise, alright. And he is a socializer too. And is going to the China for the first time ever. Even though we've had contact with them for a long time, but we never left Amalfi for China just to go kowtow to the Emperor, and the reason for that is it's because of stability reasons. And also leaving for about a year or two to go on this long journey from here to China, this would leave the Republic vulnerable. But we are strong enough to take care of ourselves. And I think it would be wise for me not to take part in the Crusade. But now they have established a presence. That's what that war was about, is for this area. And who knows what the Mongols will be up to next. But I left the Defensive Pact, signed a non-aggression, and therefore they will never attack me. One of my messengers returned with the news of an old nun residing in the convent of Sant Père de Vroda. The pious woman has worked for years in the leper colonies of Sant Père de Verona, where she licks away the pus of patients' wounds and eats their scabs. Something for which she has earned the name. The Holy. If you were to donate a tidy sum of the convent, she would come to work for me. Catalan. Okay. 1 second. There you go. Haha, successful mission. Now we made your realm unstable, and this will make the domain provinces improve the stability. Hey! Well, now we've taken the city. Second friend, you're in charge. You need to take care of this mess. We will receive reinforcements shortly. Don't die. And stay out. They're doing nothing at the moment. His threat level is extremely high because of that subjugation war. If he tries anything stupid, that means that the entire world will fight against him. The Pale Rider is done reaping his terrible harvest in China, and a devastating plague has receded. Popular uprisings have broken out in Hangzhou, and large groups of disgruntled peasants have taken up arms, led by militant monks. Trade has been held along the Silk Road, and China will not be able to defend its tributary states. You should be concerned about those kind of news, because you have taken Alexandria in the previous episode, and Alexandria is where the Silk Road ends. One of the few areas where the Silk Road ends. You should be concerned about that, because you have a Silk Road market. But you gotta get it up to a major Silk Road city if you want the good profits and all that. Now, listen here. I signed a non-aggression pact, and I will honor that pact. So I need more time to reconsider. If it gives me consequences, so be it. I am in no mood to fight against the Mongol Empire, but rather, let's trade and all that. Ah, fellow travelers, a military man exclaims, emerging alongside a group of soldiers from the trees surrounding our camp. I am Captain Win. We're here to escort my lord to Dantong. He gestures for his troops to join my entourage for the evening. Captain of the Outlaws of the Marsh. Doctor of Philosophy, formerly. And as a Taoist, he is a follower of Kwanzan Taoism. Less on fertility and more healthy lifestyle. And he also has a good stock of Chinese black tea. This character certainly has a lot of black tea with him. This high quality black tea from China will surely be the highlight of any social gathering. Well, you convinced me. Oh, my goodness. That amount of money? Well, you could be hiring bodyguards. The plot discovery chance increased for a few years. Or just say, I think you're confusing with someone. You've probably never seen my kind before. And don't mind the way I look, because I have, Avar ancestry. That dates back to my great-grandmother. That's where I got the Avar features from. If you die of severe stress, I'm naming Vito as the new heir. So the mercenaries are disappointed to know that. Let's be realistic. Fighting against the Mongol Empire, if it was just Amalfi alone versus Mongols and God knows how many mercenaries, our troops would never stand up against them. We would just be outmoded, outclassed. But anyways, I was bored at home with nothing to do one day, despite the fact that I'm on a journey. So just assume this, that I was bored during this journey with nothing to do one day. So I decided to take a walk around when I overheard some muffled sounds coming from a room. I snuck over and opened the door slightly. I peeked inside. One of my maids and one of my manservants were making love in the throes of passion, oblivious to the world around them. Though young, they should know better. The opposite of envious is kind. and I like to be kind. So I'll say this. Tell them later that they have your blessing. There you go. No more sins in me. So the Pope should respect me a little more. As ignorance conquered. Got a bit of learning. All is quiet. We know that he cannot make any more gains anymore. It's just going to be the way it is. And he's also currently distributing titles, I see, because I just saw some changes. Our caravan has been approached by a smooth-faced Mongol man, claiming to be a renowned trader. After finally getting my attention, he beckons me to his own horse, where something is strapped to its saddle. My name's, Chiledu. My good lord, might my latest acquisition interest you? What'd you get there? History of Yuan, even though it's been relatively new. A book detailing the lives of the emperors of one of the greatest dynasties of China. Not a very exciting read, but it does inspire to having a dynasty as grand as theirs. You are certainly a charmer. I could use someone like you. The man eyes me up and down before shrugging in agreement. So he joins my court, so he lives here now. Which means whenever he passes away, I get to inherit his book for free. It's a smart move. I'm glad I became kind. But keep in mind, he's a Tengrist. He's cynic and he's paranoid, so you can't assassinate him. Unless you frame him first, but who would want to frame him? The Vatican is deeply disappointed in your decision not to join the Crusade. Your lack of faith is shocking, and I thought one you'd think of better as such a ruler. I decide what's best for my people, not you. I mean, look at yourself. You got camp fever, and you're muddy. And if you're gonna go on a suicide mission, although I think you'll find success, to be honest, because his army is stationed in Albania. No, not the Albania you're thinking of. Caucasian Albania. Caucasian Albania. So he's going to bring his massive horde over and take out any crusader that God sends. But all I can say is, oh well. They want to get Egypt back. And if successful, Egypt is going to look big. So good luck to you. I did not want to betray the non-aggression pact that we signed together. And you would have to be downright insane to swear fealty to the Mongol Empire. I mean, it's an option, but you would have to be downright insane to do that. And then the Mongols would be up there and then they'd be invading all that. Yeah. But it doesn't matter, because Defensive Pact. And now there's a crusade for it. Which I chose not to participate. It happened again. Spikes are finished. Watchtower network. Increased levy size. Network of watchtowers and garrisons has been found across the realm. You got it. Be positive. Cousin Tato Sikanide. It's passed. Oh boy. The Protector General of the illustrious Emperor addresses a letter to the honored Doge of the Republic of Amalfi. May good health be with you. It has come to the attention that the heavenly Emperor of the Yuan Empire that merchants from your lands have been acting with deceit and dishonesty while conducting trade with merchants. We are certain that We will make sure that this behavior will cease immediately. Hey, you're not familiar with our trade practices? We don't do overland trades. We do it by sea. So, let me see. Hey, it's city tax, and you know, you'll get your other sources. I'll just say I'll have Rothari seek out and deal with the worst troublemakers. Just Amalfi only. For the next 10 years. The muscles in my shoulders feel sore all of a sudden. This will be a problem. Ouch. I hope nobody does something stupid while I'm away. Aren't I already deceitful? No. Modest. Plus another reason why I did not take part in this crusade. It'd be too easy. This many from Europe against the whole empire, even though Muslims would not take up arms against them, but he's hired some mercenaries. He's in Bakar. As I said, it used to be too easy. Anyways, a rider approached the caravan and handed me with a letter with a seal of Captain Porsuk of the Turkic Guard. Porsuk has heard of my trials and invites a party to the rest, while in the warmth of the capital, Jund. Kurmasta. August tax. Alright, a warm bed and a hot meal is most welcome. Sorry, accept the invitation to the court of Captain Porsuk. Yeah, I'm familiar with the Kurmasta faith. That is the faith that usually is synonymous with Sogdian Zoroastrianism. The previous days have been certainly a delight. I never imagined that we come to so many things in common. It's with regret that I bid farewell to the captain and we decide to move on towards our goal, the Yuan Empire. Hey, let's keep in touch, huh? So, made another friend. %14% war score. As the first few Mongol armies are starting to appear, but these are just levies mainly. My Kowtows embraced the dangerous heresy. Oh, you idiot! Here's the voice. You betrayed me. I say you betrayed me because you were supposed to convert the adoptionists, not join them. %41% war score, as they're quickly taking more and more land. It's possible that they may win Egypt before the main horde gets there. Hey, I got better things to do with my time. I'm trying to get to China. $54, $58. Holy crud, there they are. Two Mongol armies there. two army groups fighting against Papal States, Apulia, Bornholm, Connachta, Frisia. Slow down here. Glad we're observing it from the sidelines. This is where their offensive ends, and the Mongols will do a counteroffensive. And sending more levies to reinforce them. That is their main army. So although the Crusader army will be thinking, oh, that's a setback, I'm sure we'll get them again. Don't even think about it. Alright, for the love of God, if you're thinking about fighting danger or claimant wars over certain areas, I mean, this one for starters. I mean, he's still gonna have the money and the levies to do what it wants. Hey, by the way, while you're at it, any area that is not a theocracy vassal, it's just an idea, because you can't lay claims over. Well, what do you know? Lord Tello. We've always wanted that area. Yeah, these are ideas. So you could say it's like, yeah, we're asking for claims, I'm not crusading and all that. And your moral authority is 0. Oh my god, I forgot to. You idiot. Think. Oh, don't worry. When this old pope passes away, and we get a new one, I'm sure it'll be a little more cooperative. That's all I gotta say. I was supported elections and then just make a couple more claims. New job for you, chaplain. Forget about the conversion of the adoptionist people, because we do not have the moral authority and whatnot to do so. They'll take care of that. Another reason why I did not want to join the Crusade. We would get destroyed by that Mongol army, and countries would fight to take their cities back. Serbian Liberation Revolt. They do not like the fact they're being ruled by a German, and therefore they decide to take up arms and rise up against them. Well, this one is just a peasant ruler. Everything's gone to hell over there. Very close. Maybe I should become more pious. I mean, I'm getting old at my age, and I got good virtues. You know what? Let's do that. join a monastic society. I know it's relatively late and I wouldn't contribute much, but more stewardship would be a little bit good, so join the Benedictine order. But look at me. I have a monastic bloodline from way back. Lots of stewardship, and we got the virtues. And donate to charity since... yeah, using that as the excuse to try to get more claims as being a member of society, and we have a large influence over the cardinals. Speaking of which, just to add a little more to that amount. There you go. Now, meanwhile, our company finally reached the central lands of the Yuan Empire. The Middle Kingdom and all its magnificence lay before us with so much to experience. Let us walk, lest I forget about the reason for the journey. Start to travel on the imperial roads towards the Celestial Palace. Some time ago, a merchant galley working for the Urso family brought back several visiting dignitaries from a distant land. Seems one of them, a woman, become the target of Lupus's infatuation. After courting for weeks, he finally agreed to marry him, take up his faith, and settle him off. Guess fate brought them together, I suppose. A Monday woman. Oh, here comes that big old Mongol lord. It still hangs in the balance. So, they're going to be liberating territory, they're going to form up, and they're eventually going to have to clash. Something's got to give. They caught some of them, including papal forces. I received a letter from my fellow member of the Benedictine Order, Fausto. Dear Brother Odilo, will you, as a Christian scholar, offer me some advice on my poetry, or the attempt of it? Read through the attached documents. There are multiple verses, all in the honor of God. I'm missing the more comforting aspects of faith. Ain't I hypocritical? I decided to join a monastic society and try to be a good Christian while not taking part in the Crusade because I have decided to kowtow to the Mongol Empire, basically. My guards and I have been making our way through a bustling market this morning. There's an ample supply of every meat and game, trinkets and baubles around. Here and there we encountered soldiers along with dignitaries from other foreign courts. There is clearly no shortage of business for these traders. Not a good idea. And I don't want to spend too much money. But, you know, a fat man such as myself, I'd say, what does that smell? I eagerly partake in local cuisine. Yep! There's nothing better than just eating and drinking. I've gained a gluttonous trait. And I lost immediately because I know better. I just like the food, that's all. I was beginning to think that he took offense to my comments, but today I've received a draft of his new work. I'm surprised to find his words really speak to me. Scribbled on a margin, I could just make a... I implore you, brother, bear with me, it is not finished. I will attend to make sure that the writings will go to the Benedictine Order for safekeeping. And be a preserver of poetry. Thinking. Don't know why, but a fight against the papacy. Like, we do have the money to hire mercenaries, but you just wait till I return. And get my gun. All I need is Corsica. I just need to get as much claim as possible before I will declare a claimant war to a bunch of areas against the Papal State just to try to weaken them a little. In an attempt. You would have to be nuts to try to take Rome itself. Plus, you can't request games, you can only fabricate them. Or what we're doing with that part of Sardinia. I'm flattered you think that eventually could benefit from my work. Boss rights as I thank you for your support, brother. Continues forward, showing me the finishing touch tends to say before the final version of the manuscript went to the library. Yep, now they're gonna liberate this territory back, and the madness continues. Something screwed. Oh, I know what's going on. It's like, yes, you may have a Muslim owner of Baghdad. Yes, you can bring back a House of Wisdom, but don't you know you're under the Mongol Empire? So therefore, it's basically, it's not much of, it's like, okay, it's reborn, then it's destroyed. It's much as, it's like, okay, we're open. And the Mongol authorities come in and says, hey, you can't open that. Keep that closed. To be fair, that Khagan is a cruel man. Put the spy master over in Cairo so we can see what's going on. While I was traveling around my domain, I was approached none other than the patrician Tassilo von Lavello. A very good suggestion regarding the personal claim working on. There's a price to pay, so trouble might increase the chances of success in the future. Yeah, there we go. The high priest started the ceremony right as I get inside the Taoist temple. The disciples enter in meditation and bring themselves into harmony with the cosmos. He's a Tengrist, is this emperor. Now just joining on their ceremony. This might reflect well on me in the eyes of the emperor. Didn't become content, but just joining. I was about to say, is that the new Pope or am I crazy? No, this is the same one. But his opinion towards me has improved. I need Corsica. Meanwhile, continue to work. They chased him down. But hey, hopefully they know better just to say, don't take Benghazi, that's my city. Success. Again, never joined a crusade because certain factions, be it Genoa, the Serbs of Dukla, those who want those cities back, they would jump at me. That's the number one reason why I did not join that crusade, because the neighbors would just get their revenge for taking some of their holdings. Now it's in a negative. Well, we just have that retinue there that's stationed over here, just a way of saying we're just providing security, that's all. And we've only signed a non-aggression so we can make a business deal. One would think. while at the same time trying to keep good relations with the Holy Father himself so I can request these claims and sooner or later, before I pass in this old age of mine, we're gonna get some of those Italian territories off of them. And there's not a damn thing that they can do about it. Which in the meantime, hey, wanna have a non-aggression? Let me send you some money. Lots of it. Because that country right there is the one country that I would ally with if we were to fight against papal states for territorial claims. Even the ones I specifically requested right under his nose. The Emperor's kept his eyes on you, the Chief Minister says. You may enter the throne to show your subordination, but be quick about it. I hastily performed the kowtow before the silent Emperor. I would lose some of that prestige and did what I set out to do. So I'm back. Get the levy size up. Serbs have liberated themselves in Dukla. Although they got rid of that duchy title, but soon they're gonna have to reclaim that. If they got the money for that, they do have the prestige with money. So Zupan Bebat the Liberator. Here we go again with this. Don't know why you keep doing this. Venosa. That's in Mont San Angelo. There. Ask again in a year for a possible alliance. And also, when you're done with that Crusade, and if you still got a lot of valuable manpower, and with that very high threat, and if you can't do anything else, or got nothing better to do, maybe perhaps, one day, bring you over here, even though you don't have the means to transport the Navy, because this is your only connection to the coast. So that's why I would rather have them as an ally. Having a Mongol Empire as an ally could be counterproductive for me, because I'd be going to their wars that I have no business to. Even if they invade India, I can't go over there. That's none of my business. Yet they call you the mutilator. Come on, it's close. I'm trying to get a higher opinion of me. Do not forget to keep the influence in a college high. He hasn't hired more mercenaries. They are just what they are. Sure. You'll need my help and you'll get it, by God. Massive recruitment drive in Amalfi. As stated. That's in Molise. They can't handle that. That means I'm gonna have to take care of this. Actually recall them back. You're gonna need a lot more than that. That ain't enough. Keep going. And we're shipping our retinue back to the mainland. One thing's for certain. If we do betray the papacy, what does this make us? That's the real question. What does that make us? Like, what kind of people we are? That is willing to friggin' betray the papacy just for territorial gains in the Italian mainland in certain parts. Some of which could be disconnected. Here you are. 26%. As stated, we're just shipping them back. Mont San Angelo. Yeah, key specific areas. I still await. I'll soon be more pious one day, while at the same time continue to improve relations. Go get him, Tiger. Pretty much textbook from here. Wonder how many headmasters they keep getting. Ah, it's not decent. A young, talented artist from Amalfi proposes to paint an iconic portrait of Doge Garibaldi the Champion. You got dang right. He's a great man. He's the man that united southern Italy to what it is today. Oh no, I overslept. I was late this morning. I was meeting with my advisors. Why didn't the servants wake me on time? Oh, what the heck is this? They freed themselves. No. Yes. Chennai the Pagan. Died of suspicious circumstances. It happened last week. Now it's led by Khan Chagatai. The Mongol Empire didn't break up. He switched titles. So he chose, it's like, okay, Is it Mongol Empire or Arabian Empire? Which primary title will take? And he's chosen Arabian Empire. It's just a different color, but the forces are still the same. Eat cats! We gotta sign another non-aggression pact with them. Just come to the realization. Son of a beeswax. We gotta go talk to them again. I mean, we're not at war with them. He has to be at peace first, right? You didn't attempt to negotiate an aggressive predator over the last 2 years. Well, I don't know how long it's been, but let's just keep tabs. He's not attacking me. Yeah, I noticed that Bulgaria has a lot of tributaries, including Croatia. So that makes Bulgaria the Balkan overlord. And if he wants to, he could make Dukla a tributary to Bulgaria. He could. By the way, he's a drunk. And he's got children. So they have a future. And this next one, well... Yikes. Plus, what's with the Imperial contract? No. Never mind. It's just I remember that they're nomadic, not feudal. Yes! Give me it! Give me it! And that's the last time I'm ever gonna offer it for you before you eventually drop dead or something. Although you could. You could try to frame him. How much money do I send you? Yeah. I mean, we can raise it. Just take your time. Plus, giving him a huge amount of money means he'll hire mercenaries. So there you go. Which means whenever we want to, we could press all the claims. Corsica and Loritella. As you can see, what's like ding, ding, ding. But now I need these parts that he currently holds. Again, there's so much you could choose from around the world. The territories he holds. Skalenga. And we could take down a digital war. This would go great as well. And you can't request a claim against the fellow Merchant Republic because different government. Bulgaria took Istria. And you can't request claims over Prince Bishoprics and Prince Archbishoprics. It doesn't work like that. Very close. It would take Siena just to connect the north. No, sir, there are other ways to cater to the interests of the Republic. I know what I'm doing. Sounds stupid, I know. Holy War for Doraza. What holy war? Oh no, they're Cathars. Since when did heresies become a norm? Well, it's about to deteriorate more because sooner or later, Pope's gonna either have to call off this crusade or just lose to these people. Now go negotiate with them quickly. My magnificent cap curled up in its favorite spot by the window last night. And maybe it knew it did not long left in this world. At least it went peacefully. Jiminy Christmas, that much gold for the big old funeral for the cat? But no, the funeral shall be set in the garden where it loved to play. Whenever I stroll by the rose bushes, I shall remember my cat. Alright, here's the big pile of money. And maybe we sign a non-aggression pact between us. And hope for the best. So that way our relationship will continue. Otherwise, things will go to hell in a handbasket if it doesn't. And take this small gift, using it to prove the conditions of Alexandria as you please. Be thankful, observant of ruler as always. Have a soft spot for the suffering of the peasants. Return now to your province, under my protection, and gather the fruits of my largesse. Thus I spoke to the peasant leaders. I came to be looking for guidance. I don't have the gold right now, actually. We're trying to make it all back. Right. You know, maybe Sardinia can wait. Like, we'll get a claim on Siena soon. And Prato eventually. But it has, as long as it connects. And then it can lead to another front where we could safely deploy troops instead of having to sail up north. If you want to start taking northern Italian provinces. And then you'll be fabricating more and more claims. Is that what the future of this series is going to look like? Doing all that stuff? Not to mention fighting future in your claimant wars for this set areas. We could go beat them up right now. We could do that. But I'd like to be nice here. At least a little more piety is good. Well, we are drastically increasing the size of our domain as of late. As I said, it's going to be up to you. Yep, signed a non-aggression pact with Khan Chagatai. Not Kagan. And he ate some good hummus recently. Hummus is a very delicious, nutritious food dip made from cooked mashed chickpeas, blended with tahini, olive oil, lemon juice, salt, and garlic. Now I'm saving that for something else. Visiting the monastery, which my orders convened at this time, I joined my fellow lay members in dutifully performing all tasks required of us. In the evening, after a hard day's work, the abbot gathers all the visiting lay members and reveals the monastery's greatest treasure, a great relic that's been safeguarded for many generations. Talking about the image of Edessa. That's nice, I guess. Don't do anything stupid. And don't spend it. Now, stop asking me such things. The Order and God cares much for the souls of our members. As such, we like to advise you to go on a pilgrimage, since you have not done yet so. Yeah, I haven't done a pilgrimage in a while. It's gonna cost me. Still got that same designated region? Yes, I will seek out a saintly burial site somewhere. There goes my smuggle operation. We've had different saints as of late in this game, so there were some changes here. Who should I go to? If only they'd let you go pilgrimage to go to your kinsman from long ago. The healer, the understanding, the spark of God. So, there's a Bulgarian, a Dalmatian, and a Scot. I'll go for... I heard the grave of Saint Sermon of Preslav is magnificent. I think it's pronounced Sermon in Bulgarian, not Sermon, like Sermon on the Mount. So I'm sure from here to Preslav, it's not that long. Considerably. Come on, guys, you're fighting for second place, basically, is what you're doing over there. The journey to Preslav has been planned for a while. Despite the mild climate of Bulgaria, a traveler has to be properly prepared for long trips like these. I'm excited to be on my way to find my destiny as I search for the final burial place of Sermon, excuse me. You understand, I'm not familiar with the Bulgarian language. Apparently the Banate of Hvar is a free country, not belonging to Croatia anymore. Aha. So Croatia wasn't capable of keeping them at bay. It is connected by land through Ragusa, taking Kotrula and Hvar, then that's more territory for us. I am suddenly met by a couple of rough-looking fellows. As I proceed through the woods, the leader gives me a toothy grin and asks for protection money. What a service he and his men are doing in the woods. I'll show them who needs protection. I beat him up. Days have been long, but nice and tempered. By my own estimates, I should be halfway to Prislav by now. Not used to long hikes like these. This is a nice change of pace. Wonder what awaits me at Prislav over there. Yeah, his opinion of me has been lowered. Looking at the map, my eyes fix on the province of Misrata. It would be interesting to use my march skill and impress the people there. I will travel a single escort across the province, visiting the most important places and talk to the local leaders there. I'll move the people by my courage and my availability. Yes, it sounds like a plan. Pick my best bodyguard and go. I come across a group of caravans, filled with laughter and joy of a group of traveling entertainers. As day turns into night, I enjoy the company of the group. A particularly beautiful woman teases me and invites me to stay at night. What kind of a man do you think I am? I'm a fat man. I'm an old fat man. I don't feel comfortable touching other human beings. I've gained a chase trait. Will that be enough to get what I want? Such as a claim on Siena. Sir? No, sir. He's merely a child. Wait 2 years and he'll consider it. At least he respects me a bit more because I'm chased. It's kind of stupid. Say, hey, don't even think about it. Why on earth would you want to request a claim against somebody who's a religious head? Or anybody with the theocratic path? The government. There you go. All of a sudden, I find myself in Prislav before I know it. It's been a nice, long journey through the wilds. To once more see people is a nice change. As I walk through the shitty streets, I compare to my homeland, considering all the differences between the two. Should find my way to the burial site as quickly as possible. That's what I'm here for, after all. It hasn't been looted, has it? Nope. Nobody disturbed it. Other than that places has tax breaks. And the land is hills. Although farmlands are over here. And this is the countess who runs the place. She is actually one of the, except Bogna and, correct, her sister, are the last living descendants of this saintly bloodline. I guess I made the right choice just to say, hey, it's been an honor that you run and kept this place tidy. She's a huntress in her youth. And now it's going to be another Bulgarian house that will be taking care of things here. What timing? And how long was this ago when he passed? It's been over 100 years. And his last descendants live here. The people, my people, looked at me in awe as I walked among them, speaking directly and frankly with a martial attitude. I was almost received as a god. Alexandria local leaders news spread about me. The whole area is filled with people, looking like they come from all different corners of the world. I never knew Saint Sermon, or the understanding was this popular or well known. Though it is stressful, I finally get my moment to stand in front of the grave and feel the blessed aura of the saint. What a journey it has been. Winter just became mild here. Another portrait for Doge Garibaldi? He is a national hero. He was a national hero. I idly sit at court one day when I see one of my young servants staring across the hall at one of my maids for far too long. She notices and looks at him. Confused, immediately jerks his head away, embarrassed, awkwardly avoiding her gaze. It's old news that he finds her attractive and hasn't worked up the courage to tell her, and she is too oblivious to know any better. He will find courage soon, or she a brain. It'll work out. A brain? What? Yeah, sure. We already have that non-aggression pact signed. Jesus Christ. Third portrait. How many portraits are you making? Wait, it's not him. He is the faction leader of the Glory faction. Garibaldi the Champion is the greatest of the great. That's why there's so many iconic portraits of him. I mean, good God. There's 3 different portraits of Doge Garibaldi the Champion in the Great Hall. You might as well make a shrine out of it. It's been a long journey. I finally start recognizing my homeland once more. The woods, the streets, and the people are all familiar. I start smiling myself. It's nice to be home. Just one more street and I'm here. And somebody would say, hey, we've made 2 more new iconic portraits of Doge Garibaldi the Champion. Even I'm the guy that approves it. We are pleased you're here to finally that you have safely returned from your pilgrimage, and I trust it's been an inspiring experience for you. Praise God. My wish to become a better Catholic led me to the rule of Saint Benedict. As I followed this holy path, I noticed that my sense of ego and need for recognition is all but vanished. This helped me just focus on the things which really matter. Now I am humble. Please respect my wishes. Give me that claim. But you just wait until this December to get a claim on Siena, and then I will start fighting wars against both the Papal States and the Kingdom of Italy. There's no need to seize cities. This is just for start on the Central Italian expansion. Alright, look, you have any idea how long this is going to take? In theory, you only have 28% of the control of the Kingdom of Italy. Excuse me, Empire of Italy lands. And if you want to be the Emperor, you've got to hold the Kingdom of Italy title. And also Sicily, which I am. As I hold that. Can you imagine what that would be like? That's the reason why we have to expand, and all of this must be taken, especially the north. The provinces are more numerous up north, but it's a lot more messier in the central, which would lead to quite possibly some real serious series of wars. Unless, for some ungodly reason, and it's highly unlikely, that the Pope becomes a heretic. Heresies are spreading like wildfire in Europe. And there is a country that has fully embraced the Waldensian heresy. Meaning if this crusade fails, then it's likely the Emirate of Galicia will be the next target of a crusade if things don't go their way. Now we got whole independent countries embracing heresies. We'll end this episode soon. These gads. What's Ragusa doing? Where'd you get that amount of army from? Yeah, sure. Oh, the HRE Emperor. He lives in Kurang and his enclave. Oh, I don't want to end this episode yet. I need to find out the results of what happens here. Taking advantage of a quiet stroll along the walls of my main keep, my spy master approached the subject of my security and rumors of spies are reporting. Seems that unknown individuals are planning my demise as payback for one of the mortal victims of my rule. As things stand, I was supposed to decide on the matter. Well, knowing who I am, I disregard that warning. I'm fearless. Don't you know I got a gun? If anybody that tries to bring me down, I'm gonna shoot him. I fear no man. If something bad should happen to me, well then, sacrifice will not be in vain. And hopefully you'll be ready to begin your rule as the next Doge of Amalfi. How is your son, by the way? A genius. Excelente. What the? There's something screwy going on over there. Anyways. Dukla's now a duchy again. A proper Serbian duchy. But not for long. Because now they are spreading this vile heresy into Dukla. In fact, I kind of want them to win. Because that long-awaited dream of the possibility of getting to Dukla entirely and make it a Prince Archbishopric. Just like Montenegro back in the day. Not you two. No, I'm too old for that. I was thinking to myself, it's like, hey, what if I become a heretic and then declare the holy war against papacy and just take it just like that? A Lollard revolt here. But the diligent work of Sigurd in preparing the ball and teaching my spouse to act in the most regal manner. The whole endeavor was success, and is with a happy heart that I could say my spouse increased immensely the influence I held in diplomatic court circles. In the end, I must recognize the work of my chancellor was stellar, to say the least. She's shining at the court. Plus 10 diplomacy for the next 20 years. Oh my goodness. Look at her. I mean, they've already wasted the Crusade and they've already wasted all their troops, so I don't know why. Do you think it would be a good idea if I for just a period of time, like say, hey, let's embrace whatever this new heresy is, and we're going to take Rome down, and everybody else in the Papal States, and there ain't not a damn thing the world can do about it. I mean, if the Catholic faith is indeed failing, then maybe, just maybe, think a sound of a, I don't know, the adoptionist heresy may sound like a good idea at all. Or at least the Fraticelli heresy, where if we take Rome, then we can install a new pope. But it'll be Fraticelli pope, because they have that as an option. Or to the lesser extent, Cathars, which those people here, they reject confession of holiness of the clergy and the pope. They only have one single sacrament, the consolidation. To remove sin and turn the believer to a Cathar perfect. And they can wage holy wars, and women are allowed to lead armies, even though we already have full status of women, so. And plus, no religious head. But anyways, let them win. I don't know. It's rather tempting to be thinking about that idea. It's like, yes, you are a strong nation, but be aware that it has its penalties. You may have a strong military. You can just easily bulldoze the papal army now, as they are weakened. And of course, others may join during these holy wars. And I don't know, if a heresy were to spawn right here in Amalfi, I think I may embrace it. It's just these claims I'm making. Oh, and also, by the way, this December we'll make one more claim, and then we'll start fighting the wars against the Papal States. It'll be for claimants first. But as far as we can see, there's only one spot of that heresy, and that's in here. It's very limited in Italy, because this is a heartland of Catholicism. Oh, and that Orthodox remnant from Bulgarians. Very, very tempting. 46%. Surprisingly, they're still holding on, as they still have these large numbers, including money that I gave them. Okay, stop. Request that claim. Dana is mine. And now we wait for this claim to be verified, and we will end the episode right here. Because I want the next episode to be about, well, here's our first early moves of the first few wars against the papacy in taking Corsica and Loritello, even though we already have a de jure claim in that area, along with areas such as Manapapello, Abruzzo, Marsica as well. We already have Silvana, Duchy of Sienna's up here. But if only. Oh, and we'll get this too. Okay. Wait one. You ask too much. This'll send them running. The infamous veto. Guess the intrigue isn't for you. Slightly lowered martial, but we'll give you a martial education. But don't worry. He's into martial. Oh. But at least you'll be a genius. And hopefully not become dull. And all that. So, in the next episode, for the first time ever, I will fight against the Papal States to take not one, not two, but 3 different territories. Well, it would be 4 by technicality. Despite the fact I've been asking claim after claim after claim. Now, is there anything else? What about here? Close. What if? Let me ask. Oh, that's within Republic of Urbino. You can't make claims over Urbino. Urbino's feudal vassals. I didn't think about that. But you can do it against rival republics. Ravenna. That's another. But you can't do it towards... There's this little independent realm that nobody disturbed it. Of course nobody disturbed it. It's a peasant revolt that nobody bothered. Padua. Aha. Well, that's further inland. Okay. Just making one last checks. Last few checks. Okay, so we might make a few more claims in the next episode. So we've gone long, so we hope you people have enjoyed this episode, because we'll be making a few more claims, as much as we can afford before that crusade is over, as the Mongols will continue to beat the crap out of each other. My God, we are such opportunists. And you better win the war before you die of old age, or for being overweight, and all that, and more. And of course, get Dukla. But apparently, they have failed. No, they weren't going up. I must have misread that. Anyways, so we hope you people have enjoyed this episode. So until the next one, so long for now.